news, fake, woke, distract, and divide. You're either right or you're left, or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack in your life, cause the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device.
Well, hey guys, Pastor Tim with Our Watch. Glad to have you with us today. So much going on in our state, in our nation. I want to talk to you guys about what Gavin Newsom, the governor of the state of California, just did yesterday. I am joined today with my co-host, Pastor Jake Porter. So, Pastor Jake, glad to have you here in the studio with us. And, you're just as unhappy about all this as I am, I'm sure. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you've got the incredible blessing of being able to minister to California's youth, and I'm sure you're going to find that they're not happy about this either.
Yeah, they're not happy at all. They're already, especially those that are in public school, told to mask up at school all day long, and that can be for an extended period of time where they're masked up for 8 hours, and then now when they go anywhere else, they're going to be told to do the same thing when they're looking for some sort of normalcy outside of school.
Yeah, well, I like that you said some sort of normalcy, and we have to remember what the church is supposed to be. A church is supposed to be a sanctuary from the rest of the world. And let me just read for the people who don't really know what's going on. Let me read to you all what happened. So there was an article that just came out in the Press Enterprise today, and this is what it says. It says, weary of the coronavirus pandemic and associated restrictions on lifestyles, some business people and church leaders across the Inland Empire say that they aren't ready for statewide indoor mask mandate set to take effect on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, December 15th. Some say they will comply anyway. Others won't. Now, it says that some people are outraged, and here's where they actually quote me in this article. They say, Pastor Tim Thompson of 412 Church, Marietta, called the latest state order ridiculous. It is yet again another overreach of our government, Thompson said. I think that they have no right to do what they are doing. It says that Thompson won't be asking his flock to comply. And they quoted me one more time. They said, it's not going to affect what I do at all. He said, I'm going to ignore him. That is, ignore Gavin Newsom. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. Pastor Jake, what are you going to do?
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
Ignore it, continue what we're doing, and give these students a place that is normal, a place where they can come and hang out with their friends and they can live a normal life.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of people ask, why are we doing this? And the fact is, over the last 2 years, you and I have both seen a very common thread, and that is that people are looking for a place where they don't have to cover their face, they don't have to be fearful, and fortunately, we have been able to provide that place at the church, and I think it rightfully should be the church because there is a such thing as a separation of church and state. The whole point of that is that the government's not supposed to tell the church what to do. It's not the other way around. In fact, the church should be very involved in being the conscience of the state. That's according to Martin Luther King Jr. We should be the conscience of the state, not its tool. And we're definitely going to be doing that, providing a place where it is a mask-free zone. People coming to church on Sunday at 412 Church in Marietta, which is where we both pastor, they're going to be met with an environment that says this is a mask-free zone. We don't want to see you covering your face. You're beautiful, created in the image of God, and why would we ask you to cover your face? It's ridiculous.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So I look at what Newsom used in order to justify this decision he made. It says here in the article, Newsom's administration announced the new mandate will start Wednesday and last until January 15th. So basically right through the entire holiday season, right through Christmas, right through the New Year. It says this order comes as per the per capita rate of new coronavirus cases in California has jumped 47% in the past 2 weeks. That's according to the Associated Press. Now, there's been a jump in cases, 47% jump in cases. My question would be, has there been a jump in deaths? And the answer is no. We're not seeing this massive rise. I mean, people aren't falling dead in the street. If that was the case, I think you and I both would exercise some common sense to say, okay, what do we have to do to mitigate this? People are falling down dead. Almost 50% of our population is dying right in front of us. But the fact is, that's not what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And you look at illness in general this time of year, what happens? The common cold, what happens this time of year? What goes on during that time frame? Do normal sicknesses increase?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So what you're saying is we should be expecting this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's too much common sense, though, Pastor Jake.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
You gotta understand they're not used to people exercising good old fashioned common sense. The fact is, we should expect this, and that goes right back to why is it that Gavin Newsom has the ability to do what he's doing? How does he have these authorities? Well, he has them because he's declared a state of emergency. Now, I've said this before, in a state of emergency, an emergency is something that you weren't prepared for and you didn't expect. And the answer is the question is, if he's not prepared for this, he shouldn't be governor. And if he didn't expect this, he shouldn't be governor. The fact is, we are prepared for this, and the fact is, we did expect it. So this isn't an emergency. He shouldn't even have these powers. I want to touch on one more thing in the article. Get your take on this. Here's what another pastor. So Patrick Scales, pastor of Shield of Faith Family Church in Fontana, said he will recommend members wear masks and provide face coverings if they don't have masks. He says we will still check temperatures at the door. In a church setting, I have no problem with complying with the law, even though this is not law. He's got to understand that. I don't remember this running through our state legislative process, but he says, I'm not looking for an excuse to break the law or be above the law. I don't mind complying for a month. Well, I don't understand that. You don't mind complying for a month. We've been going on for 2 years, and the goalpost continues to move. What do you say about this this kind of an attitude?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind complying for a month. Well, that was the same thing when it's 14 days to slow the spread. Well, 14 days has turned into almost 2 years at this point. So now I don't mind complying for a month. Well, you've obviously been complying for 2 years at this point. So at what point are you going to take a stand? At what point are you going to say, okay, enough is enough, and take a stand as a spiritual leader in your community? And I feel bad for the people that are showing up there, that are walking in, okay, let me put my mask on, okay, take my temperature, run your laser across my forehead, do whatever you're going to do. And then you tell me that it's okay for me to come in and gather together with other people and worship the Lord.
Yeah.
It's sad that is the qualification that, okay, these are the things we're going to do. If you're not willing to do this, don't come here. We don't want you to be a part of our congregation.
Right.
That I feel bad for those people. I feel bad for the youth there. I feel bad for everybody that is having to go through that in order to attend church.
I feel bad for the men of the church there because I can only imagine that the men's breakfast there doesn't have real bacon. They're probably serving vegan bacon to their men because the government said that pork is bad for it. I mean, we got to cut out the nonsense. We got to start being the men in this culture and saying enough is enough. We're not going to comply. We're going to do what's right for our family, for our congregations, the business owners. I mean, this isn't fair to the business owners. What this does is this shuts down the little guy and empowers and emboldens big corporations. It's exactly what they're trying to do is get this to a point where they can control everyone. Enough is enough. We cannot put up with it. I'm happy to be doing ministry with you, Pastor Jake. Glad for the youth that are under your leadership because I know you know a lot of youth that are saying they're not going to comply.
Absolutely.
Right? We've actually ran into them in town where they're coming up without masks when it was like a big thing back in the beginning, and they were so happy to see us because we were a fellow face without a mask. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, or when they're forced to put one on, they'll cut a hole in the center of it. Back when it was a huge thing in the beginning, just to show their defiance. But I know a lot of kids that attend church at 412 Church in Marietta that aren't gonna comply and give into that.
Amen. Well, Jake, we'll see what the Lord does in this next month, but certainly we can see that this is yet another attack on the church, and the church needs to stand firm. So God bless you guys. As we hear more about this, we will come back to you and bring you updates. But my sincere hope is that you will not comply to this draconian measure that our tyrannical governor has taken.